Hey guys, so I bought a house and we are in the process of watering our Hydroseed. We are about two and a half weeks in. We got pretty decent growth thus far, and I'm just going to run you through the approach that I have taken and the gear that I have used to water this 0.37 acre lot. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching. All right, first thing you're going to need are these 3/4 quick release connectors. 3/4 is your common residential hose. So here are my grips, with one without and one with. And what these allow you to do is to swap your apparatus without having to use threads, which is huge, and it allows you to change with the water running without getting wet, or with getting minimally wet, compared to trying to thread on, in which case I found that I would be soaked after that. So all this does, and I'll show you how this works, is this will go on the end of your hose. Push this down, this end comes in, and just the reverse to take it off. I'll show you that right now. Easy as that, and that has been huge. These are a total sleeper pick for a must-have if you're watering a large area. All right, so we got the sprinkler going, but maybe I want to switch over to the handheld to hit an area that my hose or my sprinkler can't get to. I'm going to demonstrate that change right now to show that you can definitely do it with the water running, and I've been doing it consistently. Here we go. There you go. You're going to get a few drips, obviously, but that is much more convenient than going all the way back to your spigot and turning it off every time you're going to change. All right, next thing you're going to need is one of these Y-side adapters. It lets you go from spigot, one outlet, to 2 outlets with valves. See, we got the sprinkler going over here, and so parallel is going to be open, perpendicular is going to be closed. See, we stop, and we'll open it back up, and it goes again. So one of the reasons I really like this is by having it directionally, one side or the other, it limits the amount of kinking, because if your hose is a certain direction, you can really use the full distance of the hose, and because it's going the right direction, it's going to be less likely to kink. The other reason I like it is, even with it closed, I leave the spigots usually on unless I'm going away, and I haven't noticed any leakage from any of the devices just by leaving the valves closed and the spigot open. So huge fan of these things, and I've got one on each of my spigots, and it's definitely been super helpful. All right, I highly recommend getting one of these timers. What this allows you to do is automatic watering, essentially. So we're just connected to a Y site, and then this one is currently closed. That would be open, and this goes right to that same 3/4 spigot. And what we do here is we set the time. Right now it's 6:30. We can set the start time. We have 2 stations on this one, 1, 2. So I'm running 6:45 and 7:30 a.m. Durations of 30 minutes and 40 minutes respectively, and intervals of 12 hours for both stations. So to allow this to run, we just leave it on this auto/manual setting, and with the valve open, it'll automatically run at those times. So it'll show, obviously the next run time is less than 2 hours away. It rounds up to 2 hours. So you're going to want to water elsewhere, obviously, in between then. So what you do there is you just close the valve on it. I'll switch it over right now. Sorry, forgive me for one-handed here. Quick release here. Moved it over to this position. I'll open this valve and I've got a sprinkler right behind me and it'll run. Easy as that. And then when I'm gearing up for the timer to start, I just switch him back over to the timer. Easy as that. All right, on to the obvious stuff that you're gonna need. Gonna be sprinklers, hoses, and nozzles of your choice. So I really like these tripod shooter style sprinklers. This one is an Orbit. I find that they cover a ton of ground and have minimal to no impact on the ground that they sit on, as the contact patches are very small. For hoses, really whatever you can find. Leaky hoses I wouldn't necessarily shy away from, because the whole grass has got to get watered and a leak is just going to water another spot. So I gathered hoses from wherever I could find, friends, family, and then I supplemented with purchasing a couple myself. Regarding nozzles, I prefer metal ones just because I'm likely to drop them and they're more likely to hold up when I do so. Obviously they have a lot with different settings. You know, I kind of find that to be gimmicky, and I really just like the trigger style and find that they hold up really well. But dealer's choice on those items. All right, some notes on our hydroseeding process. We were hydroseeded a couple weeks ago and we have some pretty decent growth. You can see this is, before we were hydroseeded, this is what our lawn looked like, and this is our 4/10 of an acre currently. From what I'm hearing, this is pretty decent growth for just 2 weeks in. Not great, but pretty decent. We've been able to support watering it twice a day pretty solidly, at least once a day. I think the recommendation in general is 3 times a day, so we're a little shy of that with our work schedules, but overall I think we're doing okay. We did get a torrential rain right after we got seeded, which was a bummer. I thought we were going to lose a ton of seed, but it did hang on. We have a drain line that comes right through here. You can see where I raked in that brown spot. I raked in a little bit more seed just now, but it does look like it's holding on okay. We got some dirt flowed over from our neighbor's place. Other notes, just trying to keep the sprinklers moving, keeping it fresh, at least moving them every couple days, and supplementing with the nozzles in the places that the sprinklers aren't hitting. The water pressure in our house is not great enough to run more than 1 sprinkler at a time. So how we've been managing that is just with the timers in the two stations, and using the non-timed hours to hit the other areas of the lawn. And that's been working just fine. I didn't want to play with increasing the water pressure on the regulator and messing with potential leaks inside the house. Although if the water pressure was soft on one, obviously I would do that, but you know, you can see that the sprinkler in the center of our lawn right now is hitting a pretty solid area. So yeah, hopefully, we're mid-July right now, so hopefully we have opportunities for a lot more growth this summer, and hopefully a full lawn next summer. So hopefully this helps you guys. Good luck out there. See you next time.